Alright, real super quick video. This will be the second, I guess, video or something like that with my new vehicle, which is a 2002 Ford Explorer. So I'm going to be taking off the steering wheel because this had a nice tan leather trim, but it was all shredded and stuff like that. So my first thought was just to cut it all off and see what it looked like, but it looks pretty bad. So I'm going to go ahead and just replace it with another steering wheel that I picked up at the junkyard. So anyway, starting out on both sides of the steering wheel, first thing you got to do, disconnect your battery. The negative battery source, go ahead and disconnect that because you're going to be dealing with the airbag and you don't want that to accidentally go off or whatever. So disconnect your negative. Alright, anyway, continuing. I'm going to start out with a nice little slim screwdriver. I'm going to go over here on the side. On the side, you're going to see these little rings. On mine, there's a little slot that I can put it in, and it just simply pops off. Okay, that went under the car. I'll pick that up later. And then inside of there is a 5/16 little screw. I've already pre-done most of this stuff because you guys know I work one-handed when I'm doing your camera stuff. But to show you, basically 5/16, I've already loosened it up, so you're gonna back it out. There's also one on the other side that you will be taking out. Same thing, it's just the little plastic cap. After you undo the plastic cap, you're going to oh, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, duh. In case you do like I do, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, I was tightening it up. I knew it shouldn't have been that much. Anyway, so backing it out, backing it out, backing it out completely, and there we are. It's not that long of a screw. There's also one on the other side of the steering wheel. I've already taken that out. That allows you to get to the airbag unit, which basically slides straight off. Now carefully, you want to go up underneath. Then I have two plugs that you're going to remove. The one that you want to remove is from the center, right up in there. See that? So that's got little pins, one on one side right here, and another pin on the other side. You're basically going to squeeze those together, and it'll slide straight out like that. The second pin is here, or connector I should say is here. The tab here is what you want to lift up so that that can lift out. I've already lifted it and pre-lifted it out of there, so it just slides out. Now your whole airbag unit will just simply come off, which is nice. Alright, then you're going to be left with this. Here's what I recommend that you do. This one can kind of stay where it is. You're not going to have any issues. This one, since the black unit here stays in, this is the one you want to unplug. So see that little tab right there? That's what you'll push in to pull that out, just like that. And now this will be able to allow you to pull off the steering wheel and leave this one threading through. All the other wires are going to be in place. Now this one is a T50, so I've got a nice T50. There you go, T50. I've already, like I said, taken it off, so you're gonna get that out of there. Nice, simple T50. Alright, now from this point, couple of options. Option one, steering wheel puller, but there's no real pieces in here to connect it. So if you got one of those small little steering wheel pullers, you can maybe get it in between here and in between here, just a little double part, and then it threads down, and then you'll be able to kind of lift to pull it off. So that would be something similar to like this guy that I have, steering wheel puller. So I'm using this one, just using two ends of it, so you'll be able to kind of get it in there. Now if you can do that, cool. An easier way for me, because my legs are long, I'm just doing this. I got slouching down in the seat. I'm putting one knee under this end of the steering wheel. I'm putting the other knee under the other end of the steering wheel. And I'm pulling from the top. In other words, the goal is to give it equal pressure all the way around. And then with that equal pressure, I'm doing my knees and the top of my hands at the same time until, yep, comes off. Nice and easy, okay? Take your time with it. And that's how you remove the steering wheel. So this is why I was saying that you can leave it in there. It's because it's not connected to the rest of the unit. Now my project is going to be actually changing out the steering wheel. So I'm going to be doing the next few steps, which is basically taking off the screw, and screw here. There's little plugs that plug into it, which are tab connected. So I'll be pressing those tabs. See if I can get a focus in there for you. There you go. Pressing those tabs to remove it. See right there? And it pulls it out. And on the other side, same thing. And it pulls it out. Alright. So I'll remove these two units. And then I'm going to flip it over. On the back side, you're going to have 4, again, Phillips screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now removing these 4 screws allows you to take off this whole plastic part. So that plastic will go completely off. This is kind of connected and threaded inside. I don't need to touch those. Those are fine. Since I've unplugged it here and unplugged it here, everything is going to go together. And then when I undo these, simply, on my other steering wheel that I'm going to replace it with, I'm basically going to put these in place, replug it in, flip it over, put these in place, slide it on, tighten up my 50 that goes on top of there, put in those plugs, re-put in my airbag, put in my 2 screws from the side. Those airbag screws go in through here, which hold it into place. That's the one you'll be able to see from the other side like that. And voila, new steering wheel in place. Alright, I'm just going to use my legs as a workbench here. So, we got Phillips that I'll be removing. That's to take off the, I've already unscrewed it. You guys know I work one-handed. So, Phillips, and Phillips. Put that into my nice little cup holder. I've shown you that you basically push this tab to release like that. So that's going to be on the passenger side. This one, that's your stereo control unit and the air conditioner. On the left side is the cruise control. I've already pulled that tab out. So again, that's the little pin that you push in to release that. Okay. Alright, looking good, looking good. I'm going to flip it over. This one I haven't pre-done yet. And it's just going to be these 4. Alright, so removing the 4 screws that were here allows you to now simply slide this whole unit off so everything can stay attached. That's fine. I'll be reusing this one. So that's my old steering wheel. Alright, looks good. Alright, my replacement steering wheel looks very similar, but it's just nicer. There we are. Alright, so I'm going to start out by putting my assembly back on. Alright, that was easy enough. Just sits in place, slides into position, line up the holes. Alright, and it just takes 4 to go in place. This one, do them finger first so you don't cross thread it. Alright, in place. Check on the other side, make sure nothing's pinched. Looks good, looks good, looks good, and looks good. Continuing, I'm going to put my controls back on. This is your stereo and temp control. Alright, I'm going to do this first to connect. This basically goes in. Get my focus for you. Alright, just slides back in. Because remember, this is your original wires and connector, so all those go in nice and easy. Alright, gonna line it up. Line it up. You got 4 here. Got 1. 2. Other controller. Line it up. And lining up the other side. Screw number 3. And number 4 I drop down here. Let's get that out of there real quick. Number 4, and of course don't forget to plug it in. Nice. Tighten those down. Simple. How you doing? All right. Good. Just making a YouTube video for putting together the steering wheel. Alright, and last one. Alright, now as you go to put this onto the car, things you will definitely need to make note of on your shaft. See if I can get a good view of this. See that little notch right there? That's letting you know what straight is. There we go, that's a good view of it there. See a little notch? Right there. Little notch. That's straight. You want to line that up with the notch on. Hello. There it is. On your steering wheel, which is right there. So as you put it on, first off, let's back off. Let's thread through our wire. Okay. A lot easier for you. 2 hands. I'm doing this. There we are. Gonna thread that through. As you thread it through, gonna set yourself to line up both notches, to which mine is just like that. There's also specific grooves in here. See how that's like a little gap space? These grooves will also help you for your alignment and setting it in. Once you've got the notches lined up, alright, lined up the notches, then you can go ahead and press it on. Alright, as you screw this down, that will finish the pressing of it into position. Alright, at this point we can go ahead and put this one on. We're ready for that. Make sure that's nice. This is nice, in place, in place. Gonna take my 50 and my nut, my bolt I should say, put it back in. .50mm socket. Do it hand first, just to set it, and then use it with the driver to torque it in appropriately. Alright, I like it. Alright, that's in place, looking good, looking good. Final part, since I will not be changing out the little pad logo on the pad, I should say. Gonna go ahead and plug in my airbag wires, which will first start out with the center one. Goes in pretty much one way. There we go. Earlier, a little close up, see that tab and that tab? Those are the ones that you push in when you go to remove those. Alright, simple enough. Got my other lead. That's going into there. This guide pins in. All the way. Click. In place. Cool. Everything's set into position. Looks good to me. Alright. Next will be my screws on the side with the 5/16. Line those up. So we've got the hole right there. Looks like it's already lined up pretty good. See if I can get this rolling with one hand. Into place. There we go. Just have to push the airbag in a little bit to make sure you get everything lined up appropriately. Alright, so you're going to do both sides nice and tight. And then that sets you up. Alright, going to do the same for the other side. You're going to put the cap back in place. Now on the bottom of the cap, if yours is anything like mine, it's going to have a bunch of tabs. Hopefully all your tabs are still in place. See this one with the gap? That's the one I'm going to line up with my little thing here for future screwdriver. So that tab is going to go on there like this. Alright, simple as that. Do the same to the other side over here. Don't need to do that for example purposes. And there we go. So yes, it's another black steering wheel, but it has the little cross stitching on it, which makes it look a lot better. It kind of goes with my interior until I find a nice tan leather steering wheel. And from what I had originally, you can see this is what it looks like when you strip off the leather around the steering wheel. So this is much better, much more acceptable. And you still have your tan surround, so it's ready for appropriate fixing whenever one comes into the junkyard. But anyway, that's how you remove and install factory steering wheel. This is an 02 Explorer. It works for many of the similar years.